Hi everybody, let's get started on card number 8. Today is going to be a shaker card. So I got the beads and these other filler pieces that we're going to be using today. And we're going to be using the Holiday Home set from Stampin' Up! And it comes with matching dies. And there's going to be a lot of different parts for this card, so just bear with me. I was trying to keep it as short as possible, but it wound up being a little bit longer than I normally do. But this is going to be fun. So right now I'm pulling out the houses and the sleigh with the reindeer. And I'm getting ready to stamp it in the My Favorite Things hybrid ink, and I stopped because guess what I forgot? My mat. Because these are the clear stamps, so you need that cushion so that way it stamps correctly. So I'm just going to stamp on each house. And once you have them stamped, I'm going to be cutting them with the die set that comes with it, or that you could have gotten with this particular set. I'm not sure if it's still in their catalog or not, but I think we wound up getting this one last year around the holidays. So right now I'm going to zoom out while I get the cutter bug out so we can cut out the houses. And you could do it one of two ways. You could have colored in the houses and then cut them out. I'm doing it the opposite way because I really wasn't sure if I wanted to color them, if I wanted to leave them white and black. I wasn't sure, so I was like, let me go ahead and cut them out. And I tried to go ahead and put the board on without it moving, and that didn't work. So I paused the recording and I put washi tape on them to hold them down, and I just ran it through the one time. And I knew I wanted to do some blending with my distress inks, so I got this masking tape from Inka Dinka Doo, and I'm just cutting that out with this border die. It's a My Favorite Things border die. And it didn't cut all the way across, so I'm just taking my scissors to cut off the excess. And then that's all the die cutting we're going to be doing. Alright, and we're just getting the different pieces out. And so in creating the design, with the masking paper, what I did was I put my frame on top of the card and I just marked the corners so I would know the area for where I was going to put the houses and what was going to be seen for the inside shaker part. Now here's a tip I want to give you. You see this blue that's showing on the upside? That is the release paper for the sheet. I should have had it turned the opposite way so I would know how the white sheet was going to lay down, but I was still able to make it work. So I'm going to peel off the backing, and then I lined it up with my marks that I made for the center or the inside, and then I got some of my postage tape and put it on the top edge just to kind of create borders. And I don't know if you saw it or you might have missed it, but I actually wound up trying to get ink on my blending tool before I actually had the sponge on it. Don't do that. Make sure you put the sponge on it. And then I'm starting on the postage tape and then bringing my blending down. And when you remove the tape, it creates a nice little snowbank. Once I was done with that, I decided to go ahead and I wanted to color in just certain aspects of each house. So the roof, the chimney, the front door, and then I think a windowsill on one of the cards. So I'm just starting out with, I want to say that one is weathered wood. And I did the brick and the chimney and the roof in that color on this particular house. And then for the door, I used the fired brick. And I decided to do the chimney on the other one and the front door. And then I did the parts on the third house on what I wanted to use, you know, the weathered wood on. And once I was done with that, I did the door in the same red color as the other one. And then the same thing on the house on the right. Not doing anything crazy, just filling in the areas where I wanted that color. And on this one, the two windows had almost like a, I guess it would be like a flower box, so I just colored that in that same gray. Alright, and then I'm laying them down here, just trying to see how I was going to get this to work on the actual card. And I decided to do the tops of the chimneys in the red as well, real quick. So what I decided to do was I put tape on the taller of the three houses and put it right in the center. And then I'm taking Stampin' Up! Dimensionals and putting that on the back of the other two homes to have them stick up some. And I actually had thought about doubling up on the dimensionals, but I figured it was just easier to just do the one set, because the shaker box I'm going to go around twice on the foam tape for that. So then I placed down the other stamp, which was the Santa Claus with the reindeers, to figure out exactly where I wanted to put it on the card. And I'm using the VersaFine Black Onyx ink for that stamp, only because I wanted it to be really crisp. So on the front of the card, the actual shaker piece, I'm using my Tombow tape runner, and I'm going to take that one film off of the one side of the clear sheet, the window sheet, and I'm going to place that down and then place it off to the side real quick while I get the foam onto the actual card. And for this part, what I decided to do was I'm placing it on it, and at the same time I can feel like on certain spots it's hanging off of the card. So I'm just laying it down, making sure that there's no holes so that none of the filler stuff is going to come out. So I take the tape off and I'm going to put on my second layer, which will help with the, you know, the shaker, so that way everything moves around good. And right here, after I put on that last piece, is where I'm going to make one of my mistakes. And this mistake was taking off the backing before putting in the pieces for the shaker. It made it easier to trim on the back side, but I really should have left the green on until I got, you know, all the little pieces, the little bits that were shaking around inside the shaker card. So I did two different beads. One is more of a clear, and then later on you'll see me put in a gold color. These red pieces that I'm putting in here, those are actual stockings, like Christmas stockings for your chimney. And then there's one that looks like light bulbs, and then the third one is presents. And then right in here is where I go back in and get the gold beads, just to give it a little bit something else as well. And then I take the backing, the film backing off of the window sheet, and I'm lining it up so that way it's a perfect fit. And there you have it. Everything's shaking away. So for the sentiment, I decided to put it on the bottom right for one reason. There was a little bit of an ink scratch, but it was very light, and I thought, you know what, if I put the sentiment there, you won't really recognize it. You'll just see the sentiment. So that's what I did, which says, from our home to yours at Christmas time. And it's very fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed that shaker card. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And I look forward to seeing you guys at our next video. And you guys have a great weekend.